Perfect. Welcome everybody to the Greater St. Louis Knitters Guild meeting. Established 1985. Do you realize how many years that is?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes. Okay, things I'm going to ask you to do today. Please stop and introduce yourself to somebody you don't know already. I know you don't like to come with your friends, and that's awesome, but before you leave today, talk to somebody you don't know. Okay? It's cool. It's fun. Remember to wear your name badge? That requires that you actually remember to bring it, which I forgot my name badge today, so I'm sorry. But if you have it in your bag, please put it on because it really helps and identify you. And please silence your phone because you might have a really cool ringtone and I'd like to talk to you about that, but not in the middle when everybody else is doing stuff. So if you don't mind things, then why are we here? This is our guild purpose that we read at the beginning of every meeting. Purposes of organization shall be to promote interest and skill in knitting, to encourage high standards of quality and workmanship, and to encourage the use of those skills for the benefit of others. That's why we're here, guys, right? Cool. Some announcements before we get into the business meeting. The newsletter deadline is April 21st.
Mary, I need to speak up.
I need to speak up. I can turn this on. I'm rarely told that.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm going to get the blower.
Is this better?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Nobody ever told me to talk louder before. I always get the opposite. So sorry about that, but everything was up on the board, so you guys know what we're talking about. The newsletter, anybody in the guild can contribute to the newsletter. And you probably have something cool to talk about. You either found a knitting book that you love, and you should tell us about it if you loved it, or if you found one that you hated, please tell us so we can avoid it, okay? And you can do event reviews, like if you went to, I don't know,
The Midwest Fiber
the
Festival?
Midwest Fiber Festival, for example, and you thought, this is awesome, I should tell people about it. Please do so, write it up. It doesn't have to be a big, long thing. It can be a short thing. It could be a long thing if you want it to be a long thing. But write it up, and please send it to Sarah, because Sarah loves to get articles. She does. We do have yarn for charity projects back there today, so if you were thinking that you might want to make some hats or something, but you're not sure if you have yarn at home, because you guys have been reading my posts on Facebook, right? You've been reading my posts on Facebook. Yeah. Or in case you just don't have the right kind. Which I never have the right kind for what I want to do. So if you want some or need some, please feel free to take some of that charity yarn. Member news. I did not have any items. Does anybody here know anything about any of our members that we'd like to share with the group? Everybody's doing okay? Or any great? Nothing. Okay. No news is good news, somebody said. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. The Knitting Guild Association news, we've kind of gotten away from talking about this very much, but I wanted to talk about just a couple of things. There is a conference on taking your knitting to the next level, which I thought was kind of cool. You have to register by the 17th, that's what, Tuesday, I think it is. So I thought I'd let you know about it. I have not experienced this, I'm not sure that it's great, but the TKGA stuff is pretty great in general, so. They also have a pattern contest. Ooh, I think this is awesome. So if you have, it's particularly, they call it neck and neck because it's for cowls. So if you have a cowl pattern that you have maybe adapted or written on your own completely, then you can send it in and you can win, I'm not sure exactly what, but fabulous prizes, I'm sure. Nothing like what Tony brings to us every month, but I'm sure there are fabulous prizes. So that's a cool thing, I think that's great. And we happen to have the lady herself here to talk about Midwest Fiber Festival. So,
Okay.
and you probably need this because I needed this. and
I know, normally I don't need it either,
But yeah, I
Well, go ahead.
would use
Okay.
it, yeah.
Hello, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Heather Spahn, and I am the head fiber freak for the Midwest Fiber Festival. That is happening April 26th through the 28th. We are very excited about the festival. Speaking of taking your knitting to the next level, we still have some knitting classes available. Ariel Gardner, for any of those of you that have experienced taking classes with her, she has 3 classes, and then Josie from YarnCom has actually joined the festival teaching and is teaching a couple. We also have Bex Oliger, who is teaching heirloom lace and a brioche rib primer class. So if you guys are looking to take a class, they definitely have those. We're definitely going to need volunteers, but also the guild needs volunteers because you guys have a 10x10 booth. As one of the missions of the festival, we are really trying to bring together all of the fiber artists in the St. Louis region. So all of the guilds in the local area get a free booth to be able to be in. And the Knitters Guild is actually the guild that also handles the yarn winding. So you guys have a fundraiser in association with that. And you're able to recruit people for membership, but also to earn some money by winding yarn for all of the beautiful things that people will be buying. And am I missing anything? Alice?
No.
Okay.
I
Sign
have
up.
everything else ready to go, it's just we need volunteers. The paper looks like it's set up for 2 per time, but bring a friend. Sign,
Yes,
you know,
there's
you can put more
always
than
room.
than 2 people in a time slot. And Saturday's a busy, wonderful day, Sunday's a little slower, so bring your knitting.
Yes, definitely bring your knitting. There will be people from the community that will become checking it out that aren't knitters, and they love being able to see other people doing it. Demoing is one of the really cool things to also maybe, get a new fiber friend and stuff like that. So we hope that you guys will all come out. If you do not sign up for a class, but you want to be the first ones in the door for shopping, we do have a Friday night preview. And this year we are selling a limited number of tickets. It's $25, and you get to shop on Friday night from 5 to 7 p.m. before before it opens to the public on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. So I hope that we will see you guys there. I look forward to seeing you at the Guild. The festival also is looking for volunteers. If you go to our main website, MidwestFiberFest.com, and you scroll down just a little bit, there'll be a button. Yes?
Where is it?
The festival takes place at the St. Louis Community College Merrimack campus. The vendor marketplace is in the PE building. This year we have added a shuttle, so if you are taking classes that are away from the main registration area, we will have a shuttle that will be going around driving people everywhere. There will be a gentleman who is actually my father that's driving it. And if you like burgers, he will give you one, or 12. So, that's some of the new stuff. We also have expanded this year. We have 48 fiber vendors. And we've taken our outside vendors. Yarn Adventure Truck, if you haven't heard, has upgraded. And now they have a brand new truck, and it's absolutely beautiful, lots more yarn. But we also have another outdoor vendor, Indigo Guinea, who also has beautiful yarn, and she dyes her yarn herself. So before you even enter the building, you're going to get to see all the beautiful things. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Heather. I was just commenting to Alice, I don't think that 2-hour preview is enough. I think I need more time than that, but I will tell you too that if you see something in it and there's not like a lot of it on the shelf, buy it. Because my cousin went with me, we missed it last year, but the year before we went, and she went and she likes using those little skeins and doing the color change thing across, which is beautiful. And she found these little skeins that she loved. And she said, I'm going to look around and I'll come back and get that later if I haven't found anything better.
Nope.
They're gone. And when it's gone, it's gone. I mean, this was hand-dyed stuff, so it's gone, it's gone. So anyway, I hope to see some of you there, even those of you like me who already have too much yarn. It's okay. You can just put 1 or 2 scales. Yeah, too much yarn, that's an oxymoron, right?
Right.
Okay, now the official business part of the, oops, I went the wrong way. Go through each one and start with Mae Webster. Who probably needs this too? I needed everybody.
I'm Administrative Vice President. Basically, that means I do the potluck and the Founder's Day luncheon. Potluck is coming up on June 6th, 11:30 to 2:30 is arrival and leave time. I will need some help for setup. There'll be a sign up next month, or you could email me. Beverage help is needed. This is a way for somebody who doesn't want to cook and bring a dish to provide our beverages. We usually have iced tea, water, and lemonade. The focus this year for our charity is going to be on scarves. Scarves are used by Covenant House, Epworth, Haven House, and the Red Scarf Project. Scarves are easy. One big skein, get a scarf. The Red Scarf Project, you can find information on that online. It's for youth who have aged out of foster care and are now quite often in college. They receive a package at Valentine's, and it requires some red. It doesn't have to be a red scarf, but it requires some. So there's more information there. Normally, the scarves are 6 to 8 inches wide by 60 inches long. Any colors, any pattern, just don't let it roll. Might not be quite as nice. So that's the potluck. Founder's Day is October 6th. The meal will start about noon. Tickets will be available in July. Help would be appreciated at this time because we gather items from different groups for our raffle. We'll have to have help set up. All those raffle items have to be put out. We will have ticket sales needed for the raffle and cleanup, mainly of the raffle items. If you would like to de-stash, skeins of yarn, pattern, and notions are good raffle items. Our charity will be Haven House. Hats, mittens, scarves, fingerless gloves, shawls, all of these things are useful for Haven House.
What's the age
It
group?
helps people who come from out of state and out of the country for medical treatment. We've had people come from Australia and they didn't bring their winter clothes. So they really appreciated the scarf they got. This past year, they had somebody from Hawaii that got to see their first snow. They didn't have winter clothes. So everything is possible for them because they also try to recognize their birthdays and special events like Easter and Christmas. So there's a lot of different things that you could do for charity for that, and you can start now on scarves and or items for Haven House. Thank you. And next,
John?
John?
Hobble up to the,
Just in case.
okay. Well, I don't know that I will need this, but if you cannot hear me, well, just raise your hand and I'll try to speak up a little bit. I have been obviously in many classrooms and many auditoria over the course of the centuries. So my voice usually travels pretty well. I am in the process of winding up some programs that I've talked with 2 people already. Bard said he would like to do a program on the knitted animals that we showed a couple months ago. And he suggested it might be a more than 1 week program. Is that correct? Is that what I...
Yeah, it is dolls.
The dolls. Well, yeah. So that's kind of in the process.
5 weeks, I would imagine.
5 weeks?
5 lessons.
Okay, wow.
Well,
So that's, yeah, that, we'll have to do some talking about how we can manage that. Today, I'm doing a Ravelry talk, and I don't know how many people are that experienced with Ravelry, but in keeping with my close the loop concept, people who might want any additional action or personal care after this meeting this month, we're going to integrate it up here with the, no, you know, on the
Knitting 911.
Knitting 911. I think that is a really cool.
I made him a sign.
Cool sign. If you're in need, emergency, knitting emergency, come up to the table, and somebody will be there that has more information about Ravelry. But that's going to be a common thing throughout the year, I hope. Another one is maybe this will help me out a little bit, just by a show of hands. When is your busiest time of the year as far as knitting projects?
Christmas.
And when does that start usually, that kind of ramp?
July.
Okay. That's exactly what I was thinking. We have another, Barb's daughter Amy is a yoga person. So the last one we had, I don't know if it was the right time of the year, but that's also on the table for education. So if anybody else has any suggestions, just let me know and we can go from there. Okay, next is Sarah.
I don't know if I'm gonna need the mic or not, so you tell me if I'm loud enough. In the back row.
They made me use it.
Good? Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up. Yeah, flashback to when I used to work and present. I'm also the newsletter editor, in case you're thinking, I know that name from somewhere. So I'm probably gonna get a couple of little things in for the newsletter as well. As May mentioned, the charity focus for the potluck luncheon is gonna be the scarves. In the April newsletter, we did have a little blurb on there. There's a link to the Red Scarf Project. They even have some sample patterns out there. And they also have the guidelines as well. And I'll rerun those in the May newsletter as well, so that you know you have that. We are still obviously collecting hats. We're going to have a goal of 1,200 again. We exceeded that by about 400 last year, so yay us. So yeah, May, I don't know if you have a goal or anything for the scarves. You have a number in mind, or just do as many as you can and bring them and go from there. There is a program that, and I'll put this in the May newsletter as well, that the Booter Library Branch is going to have between mid-June and late July. It's going to be called A Taste of Knitting, but anything that is created out of that program, out of those sessions, will be donated. And we're going to be credited, the Guild's going to be credited for doing that. The catch is we're looking for volunteers to help teach knitting. It's Friday afternoons. It's 4 weeks. There are 2 weeks in June and then 2 weeks in July. I'll have this in the newsletter again, so you don't have to memorize this. But anybody who's willing to teach knitting, we're capping the number of people at 20. It'll be open for adults and children. The target audience is for people that, may not have ever knitted before. So we're going to need those of you who are, pretty patient and have taught. If you've taught before, great. If you haven't and you want to try it, that's great. The library is also going to try and get some volunteers, but we said we would support this effort. Again, I will put more information in the May newsletter, so if you're interested, let me know also. Yes. The Booter Library Branch is on Hampton, yes. Yeah. They are also going to supply the needles as well. We'll probably also put together some needle sets just to help out, so that the library has said that they could spring for some additional needles, but I think, again, like Stash, we all probably have a lot of
There's a
tools
bunch
at
of
home.
needles back here today.
Oh, perfect, okay.
Please don't buy needles.
No, we're not, no.
Come to your,
The library volunteered to buy the needles, but.
Have them buy yarn instead.
Yeah, exactly.
we have a bunch of stuff that's been donated to us that
Okay.
we use for different programs, so if you guys are short, let us know.
Beautiful.
Don't worry, we aren't.
Let's not push it. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about here? As Mary mentioned, there's yarn on the back table for donated items, and there are also these little tags that say, created for you with love by the Greater St. Louis Knitters Guild. If you want to take some, go ahead and take some. These are also a good way too, if you knit anything with wool that can't be thrown in a washer or dryer and you want to let us know about that. There's actually some gorgeous hats back there. I think Eileen brought those. Oh, beautiful. But she's also labeled them as, non-superwash wool. So,
Those are good for Haven House.
okay,
Anything
perfect.
that has to be more special.
Yeah. And then, so feel free to help yourself to the tags. They're in the little boxes back there. And thank you to everybody who donates yarn. I've been trying to note that in the newsletter as well. So if you did donate yarn, let me know and I'll get your name in there. And that's it for me. Any questions? Okay.
Susan?
Hi, Susan Rosback, the Communications VP, and also I do the website. Don't have a lot for communications today. One thing though, we're going to make some changes to the newsletter. Sarah and I have been talking about that. It's pretty long, right, the newsletter, several pages. So we're just going to make a few changes to that. Hopefully you like the changes. If you don't like the changes, please let us know. Some people will, some people won't. We're just going to go with it and see what we can do. And also, your feedback is always welcome. So if there's something that should be in the newsletter that you want to see, please let us know. We don't really know what we can do if you don't tell us what you want, The other thing, from a communications perspective, I'd like to get our name out there more, and I think the Midwest Fiber Fest is a really great way to do that. I'd also like to look at other kind of craft fairs, like, high schools have craft fairs, or I don't know, churches have craft fairs, but maybe we can get tables at some of those things. It doesn't have to be every month, maybe every other month. So if you know of a community craft fair in your area, let me know, and we'll see if we can get a table there that's just informational. It wouldn't be yarn winding, and we wouldn't be selling anything. It's just like, hey, we're fiber people too, we do crafts. Might be another good way to get our name out there. As far as the website, if you have any recommendations or anything, something that's not out there that you want to see, let me know. There are a few pages that are a little outdated. Sorry about that, been a little busy, but I will get some of those updated. But that's all I have to say. You guys have any questions? Thank you. Pam? Pam, your turn. Do you have anything?
We do need to approve the minutes. I think that was, I don't have it here. You are correct. Thank you very much. The minutes that were in the newsletter, does anybody have any changes to those? Would anybody like to make a motion that we approve them? Oh, there's so many people. Pick one, Alice. Would anybody like to second it? Second. Okay. There, thank you. Questions about the treasurer's report? Please speak up. If you ever have questions, please interrupt me because I get going and I forget. So
I got it.
thank you. It's filed for audit. It will be filed for audit.
Hospitality. Hello, everybody. Hello. You can see I'm loaded down with good prizes. Okay. I don't know if everybody's seen on Facebook the Yarn Shop Hobby, HOBII. I had to buy yarn from them. It's really nice. Aren't these gorgeous? So if you need another source. And they're from Denmark. And the shipping is free. Can't beat that. Shipping is free. Okay. Got a lot going on here today. Okay, so today we have one visitor, Debbie Wood. Stand up, Debbie. Everybody welcome her. When you see these fabulous prizes, you'll want to be a member. And they really are fabulous. I mean, the next year we're going to have a lot of good prizes. People donate to me and it's going to be good. Okay. Can't get my paper apart. Oh, let's see. One visitor and 70 members.
Nice.
And 3 outside donations that make it. I don't know about you, but I've embraced this tea sweater project. When Paula said, somebody told her, Annette, you won't reach that. Well, she's going to reach it if I have to make 100 sweaters. And I'm on my way with 5, so. Let's see, on to the prizes. Joan Rangel. You have to come up. So you can whisper your size to me. There's t-shirts and another little goodie. These are from Heather. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
So, you can whisper your size to me. That's Emily. Sorry, that's the only one I have. Okay. Okay. And Mark Larson, you have to come up too, so you can whisper your size to me.
We have to model.
No, next month.
Oh, next month.
But yeah, 2XL, 2XL, 3XL, and medium.
Is that really medium?
I think so.
I like that.
All right.
He's a medium, I'm a medium.
Okay. Let's see here. Anita Albright. You have to whisper your size. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, wow, these might be too big. 2XL, 3XL. Okay.
It's a night shirt.
Thank you, Heather. Okay, and Debbie Rimmel.
Came a long way for the team.
I don't think this will fit here.
Don't say anything
Tony.
about Eddie Fisher.
If you guys end up with shirts that are too big or too small, if you come by YarnCom, I'll swap them out with you.
Want to do that? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Serena Crisp. Okay, super duper. Okay, and I gave out some stitch markers that 7 sisters had donated. The yarn shops have been very generous, very generous. And my last prize, and this fabulous prize is from 7 sisters. It's 2 skeins of yarn, they really are pretty. Bonnie Marshall. I'll bring you back, Bonnie.
We're going to take a 10-minute break, after which John is going to tell us everything about Ravelry, everything. So, yeah.
Can I make one more really quick?
Please do.
So I know you guys guys will want to know about this. If you haven't heard already, there is a brand new local yarn shop out in Washington, Missouri. Carmen is the new yarn shop owner. It's called Yarn Together. All of her socials are set up. Check her out. She is a lifelong crocheter. She's got knitting classes, card making, crochet classes, and everything. In Shiloh, Illinois, there is a brand new shop that just opened 2 Fridays ago, and it is called Fiber and Stitching Needlecraft, I think. It's owned by Deb, who is a longtime knitter, and it is on Franklin Scott Parkway in Shiloh, Illinois. And then on May 4th, Tanisha Brown will be opening up the Creative Corner, which is going to be in Old downtown Florissant. So her grand opening is May 4th, so please make sure that you guys put that on your calendar. Please make sure you are supporting all of the yarn shops. That means we've gone from having 4 at the beginning of this year to 7 within the first 5 months of the year. So please check them out.
And before we go, I just want to remind you to thank a volunteer, because nobody here gets paid except Brentwood Community Center. So all this stuff, these are all volunteers, so thank a volunteer as you go.
Person in an area, so people up here start fighting over it, so I know they're both adequate candidates. So I have distributed the 2, one for this portion, one for this portion. I need to find 2 people to distribute, or to serve as their leader in these 2 perspectives. To volunteer. Okay. Anybody over here? I hope it'll be fun. Of course, whenever I get ready to talk, everything stops on the screen. Okay, so the topic this week is Ravelry. How many in here have not used Ravelry? Don't be afraid, just raise your hand. I just want to find out my audience and see what we need to do. Okay, so don't avoid it, because we have a time for you next meeting. Ravelry, I think, is one of the most complete software applications to assist any fiber artist, not crocheting, knitting, other as well. And it is a great tool to use. I'm going to have to reduce the size to help you organize your work. This is my page here, and it has developed over the years, but it's a perfect place for those of you who have not used Ravelry. This is a great tool because it allows you to store your projects. It allows you to provide a library of the patterns that you currently have in your Ravelry library. It can save a stash for you. You can inventory all of your yarn, all of your needles, all of your tools. And that's one of the great benefits. It is really not that difficult to begin. So the majority of people interviewed already, and I think most people are satisfied, except most people want me to talk today about something about advanced searching. I got 3 rows last time trying to find out the interest in the different topics in Ravelry, and I didn't get past the 3rd row, and each of the 3 rows that I pulled, advanced search was the topic. So I'm assuming that had I gone more than 3 rows back, I probably would have had an equal number of people also expressing that same interest. So I have devised what I think is a kind of way to introduce this that's going to be random. I could have one person come up here and say, I want to search for a sweater, I want to search for a sweater that is knit on lace weight yarn with a size 10 needle. We're not doing that. I have distributed little packets, and each of those colors represents a search item. They are, I pull them randomly out of the search engine, and we're just going to kind of play a game and go around and find out what kind of searches we can do. And in the process, we might go off. How many people have gone down a rabbit hole on YouTube lately? Come on, raise your hand, everybody does it. So we may do the same thing here within these searches because these categories have subdivision and sublayers. You can find mature adult material. I did. I don't want to again. So if you have that inclination, you can probably explore that at home. Okay, so what I would like to do, and I don't have, I do have, a very basic. So if you look at the, we're going to go around the room, not each group's going to get all 4 of their categories. There are 2 light colored pieces in your packet. They all are both the same category. So you can look at them and kind of envision what we're going to do. And there are difficulty ratings, there's needle sizes, yarn or fiber content, and then whether it's clothing, accessories. We're just going to kind of cobble together our Frankenstein model and see what patterns match this advanced search. So by doing this, I think you'll get a better feel to how you can do an advanced search at home. Okay, I think somebody look at the darker blue. Okay, I'm going to ask for each group, starting with this group here, give me a dark category, the dark blue, and I will show you how to get onto the search. Advanced search, if you don't know that, I better show you that. Okay, it says advanced search here, but it doesn't take, I'll go to patterns because we're going to be looking at patterns. But these state spaces are all interlaced. You can look for a pattern. You can also look for a project that has that pattern. You can look for notes about a particular yarn, about how people have found it. Okay, so the category, I'm going to go here for the front one. You can choose between whatever you want. The two that you have.
Oh, the 2 blue ones?
2 blue ones, the 2 darker blue ones.
How about accessories?
Accessories, okay, I'm just going to put accessories here. Now the next group in the back, if you can see the accessories. Okay, what kind of accessory would you like to find a pattern for?
A pet. It says pet.
Pet. No, I want you to use one of the other ones, the other color.
Okay.
Because we got the accessory located, now we got declining a little bit, we're finding a little bit better.
Worsted.
We're using worsted weight. So we scroll down here into the fiber. Weight, here we go, worsted weight. What do you have up here in this group?
Toys and hobbies, toys, that's what toys.
Toys. Okay, who should be given this thing, me or you? Toys and
Oh,
hobby.
no, that's over here, that toys. Yeah, it's in the pets thing.
All toys?
Go down through the pets. No, you go to pets and then go down on pets to toys. See it? Yeah, you have it. There it is, toys.
Come on down.
There
Okay.
you go.
It's gonna get easier now. Give me another one, not gonna be blue, from another one.
From another one?
Yeah.
So this looks like it's the size of the needles.
Needle size.
What's that? So I got an 8, John.
8. Okay, give me another color to that. Another color, not a needle size, not a category. What's the pink one? Difficulty. Was that 5?
Easy.
There are none at 5.
There's nothing there.
Okay, easy. Okay, so here are the features, are the patterns that we found for this random search that we just did.
Let's see, don't go, sweaters are not.
Okay, so since we can only see, I personally don't like to click on a pattern without a photo.
I agree.
I don't know what I'm getting, and if the pattern doesn't have a photo, I'm not going to buy the pattern. So the only one that we can see, and maybe the others don't have photos, is this Luna cat sweater. So this Luna cat sweater is available for purchase. It looks like it can be done on Ravelry. Looks like Canadian dollars?
Yes.
$4.90 Canadian.
But it's 373. 373.
Yeah, $3.73 US. Okay, yeah. So that's one way. I didn't expect that we were be looking at a cat sweater today. But we are. And that's a sign or feature of the databases interacting with one another. We can make this with a worsted yarn, with a size, whatever, needle, 8 needles, which works out well, and this pattern's available for purchase. So, okay, in a knit-in Thursday, we found that there's a way that you can search a yarn, a particular yarn. This is not show and share. This is a yarn that I bought without having a picture to see what it looks like. I hate it. I hate it.
Threw yarns together.
Huh?
It looks like they just threw yarns together.
On the ball, it looked different, but I didn't have a picture of it. I hate it. And when I looked, Thursday after our knit-in, I went home and I did a search on Ravelry with this yarn, and guess what? I had 3 other comments. It's splitty, it's awful to work with, and it's ugly. I wish I had looked at Ravelry and those comments before I clicked the button. So that's, yeah, it's just ugly. It's,
It does, it just looks like they tied some yarns together.
I don't know what they were thinking, but, so that's
So to find out, John, did you just put it as you knew from the label? what it
I
was?
knew from the, yes, I knew from the label what it was.
So you went to yards and then, see there's a yard.
Yes. I'm gonna go to my projects. And I had in mind to do another one of those around the chair thing, and we can do that a little bit later, but I wanted to show you. Well, another thing about this as well is that you can look for a particular yarn and see, and I found this out on Thursday by playing with it. You have the name of the yarn, you can look at comments about the yarn, you can look at projects that people have used this yarn and their satisfaction or dissatisfaction with the outcome. So it's a very, in my opinion, a very robust database, and I'm really involved in it. So,
John?
yes.
Where you're at in the stash, do you upload the pictures of that on there?
Those are pictures of the ones that I've hand dyed that are in my stash. And this is the culprit right here. Rico Design Superba Twirl. Doesn't look bad in the cake, but so I click on the button here that the yarn is in the library, Ravelry library, and I'm going to look in the 68 projects that have used this yarn. And there's a way that you can look at projects that only have notes.
Right.
There's a toggle to find notes, and if you're looking to find a yarn, you want to find the notes, look for, and find that toggle. I don't need to call it exactly where it is.
Select the filters.
Okay.
It's like
Round two.
There you go, projects with notes.
Audience participation, I love it. Let's go around the room again. Start this side, this time with the notes, and I will pick a category. The blue, you get to pick a category. I'll write it down, so wait while that's loading.
Well, we can do accessories again, or we did toys and hobbies already.
Okay? Give me another yellow one or dark orange one or some other.
DJ.
Okay.
There's how you can use it fairly.
We got the DK weight.
Let's go Marino.
Okay. So, inside. Well, with DK.
Yeah, why not? Be a little loose.
Let's do double zero then. Double zero.
Okay. I don't know what'll show up, but it might be interesting. We got the DK weight yarn. Merino is the fiber. The needle size is double zero. You give me something that is not one of those three.
Yeah, I know. I got like 5 yards.
You need dark blue.
Dark blue. That's the category.
Yeah. Okay. Would you take first the comments on these socks? Where I found them? I'm sorry, which one?
That one looks similar to your yarn.
Let's see if that has the comments.
To the left.
These are all comments about the same, maybe a different colorway, but the same fiber. No, it's just not reacting. So Not responding.
John, have you used the travel feature to find yarn shops?
Yes, that was what, thank you for reminding me. I just found this feature last time. I will try.
This summer?
So if I'm planning a trip from St. Louis to Chicago, I can find yarn shops along that route. I don't know how I did it. I thought that was so cool.
Where do we find that?
I'm looking under yarns, I don't
Go
know.
up under yarns and click that, and then scroll down. Scrolling.
You're in pattern.
You're still in pattern.
You need to click on yarn, John.
There you go.
So much help.
There, okay.
Local yarn shops and road trip plan.
Road trip planner.
I have not done that.
Oh, yeah, oh dear. Okay, where do we want to go?
I was gonna say, my husband.
Kansas City.
Okay, where are we going?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. And we'd be willing to drive, what, 50 miles off the route? No. Let's just see what comes up.
It's gonna be too many.
Well, you know, if it's a yarn call, it's a yarn call. So that's a feature that I just found last night when I looked very interesting what I thought about. So this is a great feature, or not, depending on how big your stash is and other things. So this feature, I did this from St. Louis to Chicago. I found three yarn shops that were listed that were closed in St. Louis.
Well, they were already closed.
Well, they had been open, they haven't been removed from that list on our database. So those three were closed, so I'm assuming that would be the same case in other cities as well. We have things that are closed down. This might be a good initial try to confirm that they're open before you try to remove it. The one that was interesting to me is Woolen Company up in South Elgin, Illinois.
That's not very far away.
No, it's in Chicago, but it's not a really big drive. It's a long drive, but you can stop at Clinton, Illinois on the way to Lean Fiber. You can stop at other places along the way, there's one in Lincoln, Illinois. I don't know, Lincoln's a tiny little place, I don't know how long they would stay open, but we're still waiting for the trip.
Go to your right and see, yeah, there you go. There's
Okay.
shops in. The map doesn't work, but the shops do.
Okay. So the bee place I know is still open. Weave and Wobble. Now this goes to Paducah, Kentucky. And that is, I'm thinking probably Highway 64. So Tucson Road, Paducah, Kentucky. Nashville, Tennessee. So you have a lot of different opportunities here. So that's a neat feature that I just found. So, want to try the one that we just did? Okay, Martha had a very good comment about using Ravelry to buy patterns. I would be cautious, like if there are comments that say this pattern has mistakes in it. When you buy it on Ravelry, you don't have any real option to look at the pattern before you buy the pattern.
But you can look at the comments,
You can look at the comments, you can look at the notes that are from other projects that people have made. I bought a pattern several years ago now, and I just could not figure out the pattern, and then I looked at the notes and there had been an errata that I hadn't received. So that, those are the kind of things you want to know before you...
So that brings up another point though, when you use Ravelry, make notes.
Yes.
When you find something, then put it in there, and it'll help you next time you do it again.
To check my messages, because I got a message from Pearl Solo about a pattern I had purchased a couple of years ago, but I didn't look at the messages. And there was a correction, I got it.
Since my computer's not really cooperating with me, let's just open the floor and have people offer suggestions like Clark and Martha have done. I think that those experiences are equally important with the search engine. Yes, Marcia.
The other thing on patterns I check is I look to see how many other people have made that pattern, and if one person has made it, I might keep looking, because, it takes more than one person to figure out whether it's a good pattern or not.
I have a question, John. I've heard people here at the meetings talk about, I put it in my Ravelry bundle when they're showing a pattern or sharing something. What are they talking about when they say that?
No, I was going to show you bundles if this is cooperating. A bundle is simply a collection of files relative to a particular topic. What I'm going to show you is a group called Stock Madness. And it has bundles from Stock Madness is a competition, a worldwide competition of several thousand stock knitters. And they put in bundles the patterns or opportunities to purchase patterns from year to year. So they have bundles for 2017 and bundles for featured bundles.
Go down at the top. Go up. There it is. 6 bundles, it says 11 bundles. 11 bundles.
It shows you the list of bundles. And these will be categories or patterns that are included from these different years of stock competition. I don't know exactly how to form a bundle, but I think it will be fairly straightforward.
Joe knows how to make a bundle.
You can go to the Guild page. There's a thing on the very side. Bundles are cool.
It would be in the
On the
overview.
right-hand side, there's a thing that has bundles. And you can say view bundles, and then ours has, Katie Grassover was nice enough and combined them by year, because we had every month, we had a different thing. But if you want to create a bundle, all you do is from this, and then people don't, well, I guess people can do their own bundles that way too. But for the, as far as the group, there's a create bundle, and then you just, give a name, chemo.
And select the file.
And then it says find them, and then you just type in the name of a pattern, if you don't know a pattern, other ones will pop up, and then you just put a check mark, and it goes there. I think you can even add notes to it, but I know how much love it goes showing up. But yeah, you could just keep adding things to that bundle so that you know those are your favorite chemo heads or scarves or whatever. But yeah, bundles are fun too.
Sorry, you have,
Copies of them.
You had a comment or a statement?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that there's different, under every community, there's things you can go to. If you want to just go to the forum itself and see, what people have written, you won't see the bundles there, but if you go on the overview part of it, you will see, the bundles on the right side.
So I'm just going to click on Sock Madness 11 and see what those 13 items are in this bundle. So this is a bundle of patterns that were used in Sock Madness 11, probably plus the bonus patterns. I got to round 2 on Sock Madness this year, and then life happens, and I got bogged down, and I got the socks in it in 7 days, but there were already 32 people who got the socks after the night and submitted and accepted. So, but it was fun. Still fun. Okay, any other comments about or questions about Ravelry that I can help with or the group can help with?
Do a top table and add
Okay.
individual questions?
Now or?
Well, no, before the next meeting.
Okay, so Marcia had suggested, and I'm full agreement that we can set up a table next, before the meeting, next week during social hour, next month during social hour, and answer questions, specific questions and things that we might have learned or know or can provide. Given the limited functionality of the Wi-Fi, I don't feel that it's going to be any more productive to do another round of that Frankenstein pattern. So I had some really good results last night playing around with it at home. And I put in a lace weight yarn on a size 10 needle, and there were patterns on there that would, in my mind, I know that would be something like the lace, but it would be like, but there were patterns that accommodated that kind of combination of needle and fiber. Okay, I apologize for the problem with the Wi-Fi.